we seem to just finally weave our way into the next game, and that next game is Tennessee at Florida, because that's the game we have to talk about now, because Alabama, Tennessee. 2 weeks ago, this is like, oh, another game of the year.
Game of the century.
Paul, when you look, I mean, we can see it with our own eyes. Fans can see it. College football pundits can see it. These teams are almost a microcosm of each other in that dominant games 1 through 4, 5, hiccup, lose the same weekend, and now they're playing teams, and you're like, what happened to week 4 Tennessee and what happened to week 4 Alabama? This game next week could be another playoff eliminating game a la LSU Ole Miss.
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, for Alabama, all the goodwill from I'm speaking committee wise now because I'm just depending on the people that actually know this stuff. Um, this would almost count as a third loss because they're not giving them any credit for beating South Carolina.
Right.
So you would look at that and go, yeah, but then I'll leave the rest of the schedule on the other side. But to me, it would be a cataclysmic loss. And then if Tennessee can win, then I think they're back in the conversation very easily. But I think the loser is probably going to pack it in because Tennessee will still have Georgia left. They've got a couple of other games, and we've already gone over the Alabama schedule, which quickly.
Yeah, life comes at you fast if you're Josh Heupel. I mean, if Florida knows how to punch it in the red zone last night, I mean, they went 0 for 4 at one point and weren't able to score any points. If they get anything, if Graham Mertz stays, that could have been a season-ending loss in terms of a playoff for Tennessee,
Yeah.
who a month ago I was saying was a bona fide top 5 team.
Yeah, I mean, don't look now, but suddenly the SEC is really wobbly. Uh, across. I mean, we know even Georgia is no sure thing right now because of what it has to play because of its schedule. But yeah, I think it's easy to say that. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Austin because I realize the entire world will be there. But the game in Knoxville, playoff wise, holds more importance.
Yeah, again, like you look at where Texas is halfway through the end of this, or halfway point of the season. I would say Texas won the first half just based on everything they've done. And you were at the State Fair of Texas yesterday, SEC Nation, and then that game. And I mean, Oklahoma, I mean, I don't even know that Oklahoma knew what to do after the first quarter. And Texas with Quinn Ewers coming back, for me, it looks as, and we'll find out Saturday in Austin, but Texas right now, Paul, they're the class of the SEC in their first year.
There's no debate. Georgia just they're a hard team to watch. Um, I I have a lot of confidence in Kirby Smart in getting things that maybe other coaches can't. But I don't know. I'm not sure I don't think he has that much talent on this team in terms of just breakaway game talent that can compete with Texas right now. I mean that was a slugfest against
Yeah.
Mississippi State. I realize somewhat of a sandwich game, but last week was ugly. I mean, I want to go back to September 28th in Tuscaloosa and check the air quality because both teams came out of that game that dramatically different.
Yeah, I mean, right. It's so funny because I mean, you and I, look, we work in the industry, we're media members, so we see things differently and say things differently. But as college football fans, if we went back to the morning after that show, we're like, oh my gosh, Alabama's the number one team in the country. Georgia may have shown more in a loss coming back from down 28-0. But I find it hard to sit here because I don't want to rule anything out just yet because there's a lot of football left to be played and teams we've seen turn it around at the right time. But like something's not there. And for Georgia to go to Austin, you can't do one of these slow starts against Texas. You can't.
And it's every week too. I mean, it's not like, okay, Kirby Smart, this just happened. What can we do and correct it? It's like this is now this is your problem. This is who you are. You start terribly, and you're playing the wrong team. I mean, Texas can handle a slow start. You can't.
Yeah. And so Texas gets the 34-3 win over Oklahoma in Dallas. By the way, Paul, first time in the State Fair, Texas. Thoughts?
Yeah, Matt, you know how weird I am about food. I mean, my biggest problem the whole time I was there was dodging food, not embracing, because everybody wanted me to eat cotton candy with bacon wraps. I mean, I had more people hand me Fletcher's corn dogs, and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to make it to my next birthday. I just had to avoid all that.
As someone who lived in the great state of Texas in Dallas for 5-6 years, I can tell you I've been there enough to last me a clogged artery for the rest of the way. But it is a fun atmosphere if you've never been.
I just felt badly for all those people who I passed going in and out, who were having the time of their lives, not realizing the medical issues that they're about to encounter.
That's it. And you walk into there and just has that waft of fried food. And if you've been once, you've been enough, but it's certainly a fun atmosphere, especially that game, Texas and Oklahoma, just to see it inside the Cotton Bowl. Texas gets the win. We've talked about LSU and Ole Miss. What an exciting finish that was. Tennessee gets out of the way against Florida. Alabama dodges one.